What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Living Life Rated PG. If you are a 9 to 5er, a regular employee, somebody who just wants to learn how to own their space, to develop professionally, to get organized, to get decluttered in their mind and possibly in their homes, if you're somebody who just wants to be better and better in the space that you're in, this is where you need to be. And so I am so glad that you are here. I am so glad, obviously, to be back, to be moved in, to be in my space, to be able to breathe, not to be surrounded by boxes and all that good stuff. All right, so today I want to talk about something that has just become such a popular trend, and I just want to make sure that you're not doing it because it seems like that's what social media is telling you to do. Today I want to talk about quitting your job and my top 3 things that I think you need to be thinking about before you take the leap and quit your job. If you're somebody who's about to make that decision, this is definitely the conversation that you need to have, and you need to be having it with me. And so let's talk about it right now.
No, please don't kill my vibe. I give it all I can.
So, social media is really trying to make it seem real sexy to quit your job and do something that you're not even prepared to do. Now, I am not talking to the people who are prepared to quit their job, launch a business, start a brand, do all that great, wonderful stuff that every Instagram post is talking about. I'm talking to you. I am talking to the person who feels like they are overworked, underpaid, underutilized, stretched to their absolute limit, and you've already given away your last nerve last Thursday. And so today, they just on whatever. Yeah. You just all over the place, and you just feel stressed, and you just need a moment, and you feel like if I quit my job, that's going to give me my peace of mind and all that good stuff. I'm talking to you because I have been in that very same situation, but I haven't been in that situation during everything that's happening right now. C19, I don't want to say it because then content gets flagged, but you know what I'm talking about. And I have not been in a space mentally and emotionally and spiritually where I feel like I can't do this anymore. I just got to let this go. And so today I really want to have a heart-to-heart conversation with you as I talk through some of these points, some of these things that I really think are important considerations before you take that leap and you take that big step and you alter your life and your existence because you got hyped up about just dismantling everything, right? Based on some stranger's social media post. You know what I mean? Like, just because you saw something on Instagram and now you're like, yep, that's me. I'm about to go in and tell them you can kiss my, because then I'm going to be out. I don't want you to do that. Quitting your job should never be an emotional decision. It should never be an emotional decision. So when I say that these are my top 3, yes, they're my observations and considerations, but they are definitely things that I believe that you should consider before you take another step. Because what you don't want to do is create a ripple effect and a chain of events that you can't undo. So let's talk about it. The first one, which is the most important one for me, is can you afford to be unemployed? Because quitting your job is unemployment. If you don't have a situation that you are walking away from and walking into, it is unemployment. It's not you quitting your job to reclaim your time. It's not you finding work-life balance. No, there's no balance when you aren't sure how you're going to keep the light bill working, right? There's no balance in struggling to figure out how you're going to provide for your family, knowing that you don't have proper savings, you don't have investments or things like that to be able to take care of yourself and to be able to keep continuing your lifestyle and the same kind of momentum and pace and things that you have going on, that your job affords you the ability to be able to do. And so, what am I saying? Can you afford to be unemployed? If you were to turn in your resignation on Friday and you're bi-weekly, you know that your 2 weeks notice from Friday gives you the pay on this Friday and then for 2 more weeks. And then what happens? Do you have savings in your account? I love Susie Orman, and one of the things that Susie Orman talks about is if you don't have at least 3 months of expenses saved in your savings account, you can't afford to do a lot of the things that you need to do or things you want to do. If you don't have 3 months worth of savings, you probably shouldn't be buying new shoes. You shouldn't be splurging on a new bag. You shouldn't be splurging on, you should be doing your hair at home. You shouldn't go to the nail salon, things like that. Like those little extras that we love to do, that most of us love to do. If you don't have 3 months of just emergency money put aside, you can't afford those little luxury items that a lot of people, and I mean, they're just regular things like going to the nail salon. Your girl wants to go back to the nail salon, but I just don't trust the world right now, and so I'm not going to do it. But when I trust the world, I'm going to be back at the nail salon. Trust and believe. But if you don't have something like that put aside, if you don't have a rainy day fund, what do I recommend for a rainy day fund? I definitely ascribe to 3 months. And that means that you can pay your rent or your mortgage for 3 months. You can pay your car note for 3 months. You can keep your utilities on for 3 months. So can you total up all of your household expenses and say that you have that times 3? If not, then let's talk about and let's have a realistic conversation about what's going to happen after you put in your 2 weeks notice. And that is provided that y'all are going to put in a 2 week notice, because social media out here having you think that, I'm going in on Monday and I'm flipping everybody off and I'm out. So not only did you burn a bridge, but now you don't even get the money that you're supposed to get because you done acted a fool when you went into work because you read a post on Instagram. I need us all to just calm down, because what people don't tell you on social media is I may have posted a glimpse of a situation that I was involved in, but you're not going to get all the backstory, because the backstory is not the sexy part. The sexy part is I quit my job, but the other part is I had to move back home with my parents. And I'm in my 30s and I was sleeping on my mama's couch because my father turned my bedroom into a home gym and I don't have no place in their house anymore. My parents are like, we're empty nesters and we're living our best lives, and now here I come with my whole situation sleeping on the couch. First of all, it's not fair to your parents, and people can get mad at me for saying that. I don't care. Hear me. I don't care. Because I'm a mom and I'm also somebody's child. And so when you go back home to your parents, it should not be because you made a bad decision. It really should be because there were situations that were out of your control and you had to go back home to your parents. And thank God that you have parents that you could go back home to until you were able to get your situation back on track. It should never be because they was getting on my nerves and they kept asking me to do stuff that wasn't part of my job and and so I had to let them go. No, you don't get to live off your mom and dad because you're a hothead. This is me giving you good auntie vibes, giving you mama scolding right now. You don't get to go home to your parents, and no, my kids haven't done this, but you don't get to you don't get to do it. You don't get to do it and then place that responsibility on your parents to take care of you again after they've raised you and released you into the world because you don't know how to manage your emotions. And so if you can't afford to make a decision, and I'm not telling you not to make a decision, I am telling you to make the best, most informed decision that you are able to make, and make it within the confines of what makes sense for you in your life. Make sure that when you decide that you want to leave your job, that you got all your situation in order. So if that means that you're going to have to quit your job and then maybe you're leasing a fancy car, maybe you need to take that lease back and reclaim those funds. Maybe that means that some of your extracurriculars, you can't do them for a while because you need to start putting that money away, because you know that you're getting ready to make that transition. You need to lean your lifestyle so that when you are ready to walk away from your job, you've got a little cushion so that you can kind of, if starting a business is something that you want to do, then you've got a little cushion so you can be able to do that with a plan in mind. You need to be able to count up the costs, and look at the totality of what it means to actually quit your job. If you have health insurance, and you have the health insurance for your family, what's going to happen to their health insurance if you quit your job? If the health insurance is just for you, can you afford like Cobra, or can you afford to purchase your own health insurance? Do you have pre-existing medical conditions that require you kind of have like ongoing healthcare access? What about your retirement and your 401k and things like that? You just need to look at all of these things. What will it cost you to be unemployed? And how long can you afford to be in that position? How long can you afford unemployment? Like, you just have to think about that. You have to think about all of those things before making that decision. So my next thing is, listen, this is not about your feelings. Stop making emotional decisions in temporary situations, because those emotional decisions are attached to long-term results. So this is not about your feelings. I know somebody made you mad at work. I know people are out, your resources are low. So there are, people are sick. We're having weather issues. And so people have power outages and, all kinds of things are happening. And so that is changing what the workforce looks like on a day to day. And so thank God that weather hasn't hit your home. You still have power, but your management team is now requiring more of you because other people aren't available. And so now you're doing like the job of 10 people, when back in the day when the world was normal, it was just you doing your little piece. And now there is a responsibility being placed on you to do more than your fair share. And I get that. And that is hard. And that is uncomfortable. And it's difficult. And it's stressful. Quitting your job is not going to change the fact that life is still full of challenges. And so maybe this is an opportunity for you to be a little more mature and have a conversation with your management team about capacity and your bandwidth and prioritizing all the things that you have coming at you at one time. I've been in a situation where I just felt completely overwhelmed. I couldn't get my work done, or I was getting stuff done, but I wasn't doing a good job at it because I was rushing because there was so much stuff that I just needed to get done. So you just need to have those conversations and be honest about what you're feeling and be honest about what you need. And it's okay to say, I'm not going to be able to get this done this week. So if this is a priority, then I'm not going to be able to do something else. I have to be able to work and cut work off. Most of us are working from home right now. And so if you've never worked from home, I've worked from home for a number of years. And when I first started working from home back in like 2006, one of the things I struggled with was setting boundaries because one, I felt like because I'm home, I'm not in traffic, I'm not commuting, so I can start earlier and work later and just work through the entire day. And I, don't necessarily walk away from my desk to eat lunch or things like that. And so I'm always here and I'm always online and I'm always available and always, always, always. And so what happens is, that becomes, you create that expectation. Your management team, your boss, your leadership, whatever, they now know, oh, well, Kita's always available, so she can do it because she's always online, she's always this, she's always that. So no one thinks that you can't handle it because you always do it. Because you're working from home, we don't necessarily talk about you need to take breaks, you need to walk away. You need to establish boundaries. If you were in the office, you would probably hang out at a coworker's desk and go meet for coffee. Take the same 10-15 minute break, walk away from your desk. You do not have to sit at the screen on camera all the time. One, it's not healthy. Two, you need to get up, you need to stretch, the body needs to move. The body should not be stationary for extended periods of time. It's worse than getting cancer. It's just not good for you. So get up, go outside, go look at the sky, listen to the birds, do something, get away from your desk. You have to start creating boundaries and setting an expectation that, while I am working from home and I'm still going to be effective and efficient on my job, I also need just time to break away and kind of disconnect. And so you need to start doing that. Don't allow those things that you need to learn and those learning opportunities to become emotional decisions that kind of push you in the mindset of you need to quit this job because they're doing too much. Listen, I understand if your working environment is toxic, and I also understand if if it is an abusive situation and people are just not regarding you as an individual, as a human being, as a person, as a soul. I get all of that. And if that is your situation, then yes, you definitely do what you need to do for yourself to make yourself better spiritually, mentally, and emotionally, and certainly physically. But if this is just you needing to have a conversation and you being honest and transparent about what you're able to handle and what you're not able to handle, don't let that do not let that interfere with you getting the money that you need, that you deserve to take care of yourself and your family and do what you need to do. Don't allow emotions to cloud better judgment. Okay? So my last point on things that you should consider before you actually quit your job is, what do you want? What do you want to happen? What is the expected outcome? Is it just to quit the job because you don't want to be there? Is it you're quitting your job because you have something else lined up? Is it quitting your job because you want to post about it? What do you anticipate will be the outcome once you actually quit your job? Because here's the thing. I have worked with a number of people who will quit their job because they say they hate the job and they hate what they're doing and all of those things. But because they don't have a plan and they do not have direction, the next job that they get looks, feels, sounds, acts, smells, and has the same experiences as the job they just left. So, what was the plan? You gotta think about that. If you don't have a plan for why you are quitting and why you are walking away, you are destined to arrive at the exact same destination and the exact point in time that you were in when you made the emotional decision to walk away in the first place. So you really need to be clear about what it is that you are trying to accomplish and what it is that you're trying to get away from. So, I know that was a lot, and I know it felt like I was being really tough on y'all, but listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really being tough because I don't want people to feel like there's something sexy and on trend with just walking away from the thing that allows you to be able to take care of those things in your life. I believe wholeheartedly that yes, God is absolutely our source, and He's our resource, but He also gives us the ability to make rational decisions. And we don't have money trees. Like, I wish I had one. I would love a money tree, but we don't have money trees. And there's no magic. There's nothing sexy about just everyday living and experiencing life and taking care of what you need to take care of. So I don't want you making these temporary decisions based on emotion and allowing it to have really long-term ripple effects on what impacts your life and impacts your ability to provide for yourself and to provide for your family. Self-care is making sure that you are doing the right thing for yourself and those that are closest to you, and not putting yourself in a worse situation by allowing your emotions to just be so reckless and all over the place. You deserve so much more. You absolutely deserve so much more when it comes to making decisions that will impact the rest of your life. So I don't want you out here just throwing caution to the wind and then later on waking up with all sorts of regret because you didn't have a plan, you didn't really understand what the impacts would be, you didn't know what it would cost, you didn't count up the cost, you didn't look at all the other kind of mitigating circumstances that would be attached to your decision. I want you to treat yourself better, to appreciate and value yourself so much more that you will apply the amount of pressure that you need on that decision and give the right amount of scrutiny to that decision before you make it and breathe life into it. I want you to be the best and have the best and be attached to the best opportunities and versions of yourself that are available. And I fully believe that, God has never promised, there's that scripture is not in the Bible that He won't put more on us than we can bear. He will allow us to go through things because it rains on the just and the unjust. There is a season for everything under the sun. And so we all have a go through season, but we all have a come out season. And so while you're going through, be smart. Definitely pray about things, seek out counsel, talk to other people, get input. Do not allow social media to make decisions for you. And I know that this is part of social media, but please hear my heart. Don't allow a glimpse of a situation to dictate how you're going to respond to the really big picture of your life. You deserve more than that. You deserve more than that. So I want us to pull our thoughts up, and I want us to do better right now and be better right now. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in again to Living Life Rated PG. I hope that today this conversation has really helped you to think and see things a little bit clearer. I hope that it has blessed and helped you. Make sure that you are following me on all of my social media at Living Life Rated PG on Instagram, on Pinterest, and on Facebook. Certainly check me out on YouTube. You can find me on YouTube. Just click on, just type in Living Life Rated PG and you'll find me on YouTube. You can also head on over to livingliferatedpg.com. Make sure you subscribe to the site. Grab your free resume checklist. Make sure that you are checking out the blog content. There is so much good content over there, and I share it out on these platforms, but it's also there written out for you on the blogs. And so I really hope, really hope that you are taking care of yourself and that you are finding value in this information. Please like, please share, definitely leave me a comment. And I hope that you guys have an amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, y'all.